Hello, and welcome to Unravel Calm. Sometimes life doesn't hand us just one knot. It brings layers, small worries, mid-sized stresses, and tangled complexity that feels too much. Today we move through those layers, one breath, one knot at a time. Now I've already tied 3 different tangles. A small one, just a couple of knots. A medium, more layered, less obvious. And a large tangle, dense, complicated, and it might not open today. And if you don't have these tangles with you, you're still welcome. Watch the flow, notice how your body responds. And next time, if you'd like, bring 3 different tangles you already tied. One that feels easy, one that feels mixed, one that might be hard to face. You'll be ready to jump in, no pressure, just an option. This is a trauma-sensitive practice. You don't need to force anything. Choose your pace, pause anytime. The rope isn't a challenge to conquer, it's a mirror. Now let's begin with the first layer. What we're doing today is what psychologists sometimes call progressive or graduated work. Start where it's easiest. Build capacity, then, only when it feels right, approach what's more complex. We don't dive into the deep end first. We take a breath. Test the temperature. Let the nervous system catch up to the invitation. Now let your hands hover over the 3 tangles or just rest beside them. Notice which tangle your eyes go to first. If it's the big one, you're not alone. Many of us are wired to solve the hardest thing first. But today, we start small, on purpose. When you're ready, we'll begin with the smallest tangle. Let your hands come to the smallest tangle. This might represent a passing irritation, a social friction, that email that shifted your mood. Small but sticky. These knots haven't had time to lock down, which makes them beautiful places to practice. Small doesn't mean insignificant, it means approachable. Feel the rope's texture. And find what I call the tension point, the crossing or knot that holds most tightly. Now apply a mindful tug, just a test, gentle, curious, no yanking. What shifts, even slightly? Take a breath with me. Inhale for 4. And exhale for 6. Use the inhale and exhale to soften your fingers and loosen one crossing. Again, inhale for 4. Exhale for 6. Let something slide. Sometimes, when a knot loosens, your body follows. A jaw unclenches, a shoulder sinks, a thought quiets. This is the gift of tending early. Small releases create space for the rest. Now we move our hands to the middle tangle, a little more tangled, a little less obvious. This is what I call a layered load. Stress that isn't yours and isn't just yours. It comes with timelines, expectations, or the quiet weight of something you've carried for too long. Take a moment to scan it. Let your fingers walk the surface without needing to act. Sense the shape before you shift it. Sometimes This kind of knot holds what we can't fully control: a work deadline, a relationship tension, something that loops in your mind even when you're tired of looping. I call these external knots. You didn't create them alone, and you won't untie them alone either. But you can choose how you meet it. Not with force, but with inner slack. That's what allows a knot to breathe, and lets you breathe with it. Try this breath. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 7. And let your grip soften on the exhale. Let the knot decide what opens. And if you feel stuck, good. That's the moment of noticing. It might be a resistance loop, a reflex that says, push through, hurry up, fix it. Let that loop go unpulled. Rest instead. If even one knot shifts, that's enough. If nothing moves but your breath deepens, that's enough too. These knots often teach patience before they offer release. And I'll stay quiet for a moment. You can keep exploring, or just feel your way through this one slowly. There's no rush. Choose your rhythm. As we move on to exploring the deepest tangle next, you're welcome to pause here. Take your time. If this knot still has more to show you, linger as long as you need. The deepest tangle can wait. When you're ready, return and we'll meet it together. Now we meet the one that pulls deepest. The knot that doesn't just hold tension, it holds time. The years, the patterns, the ache that loops back around. I call this a deep tangle, the kind that doesn't immediately answer to effort, the kind that teaches before it loosens. You don't need to untie anything right away, just feel the density of it, its weight, its shape, where it catches in your chest, your belly, your memory. When I tied this knot earlier, I was thinking of something that's followed me for years. Not a crisis, but like a pattern, a looping belief. I should have figured this out by now. Why is this still with me? And the more I twisted those thoughts around each other, the tighter the knot became. Not impossible, but built from repetition, which means it may take just as much patience to unbuild it. If you're creating your own knot like this next time, tie it with care, with memory, with honesty. That's what gives its weight and teaches you how it holds. Come back to your breath. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. Let your hands stay soft. No agenda. If even one fiber moves, notice. If nothing shifts, notice that too. Being with what resists is the practice. Sometimes the rope just needs to know you're willing to stay, without needing it to change right now. You might find one thread that offers itself, and if it does, follow it gently. If not, cradle the knot like something sacred, not broken. This is what it means to stay with complexity, without collapse. You're not fixing, you're listening. You're holding space for what's not yet ready, and that is powerful work. If this knot still has more to show you, stay here. Give it time. Let the silence speak. When you're ready, you can continue with me into the reflection, but only when you are ready. Let's take a step back for a moment. Let the rope rest wherever it landed. Maybe some knots loosened, maybe others stayed intact. That's not a verdict, that's a reflection. Bring your awareness back to the body. Has your breath shifted? Is there a little more room in your chest? A drop in your shoulders? Maybe a softening behind the eyes? This isn't about finishing, it's about witnessing what changed and what didn't, without judgment. Even if your hands did very little, your presence did a lot. Let the rope be as it is, and let yourself be as you are. Some knots open, but some stay, and both carry meaning. Now take a final look at all the tangles. Each knot, whether loosened or held, has something to say. Was it the small one that surprised you? Maybe the medium one that softened after stillness? Or the deep tangle that taught you how to stay? If you completely untangled one, you can stretch that section straight. Let it represent something you're ready to release. Not to erase it, but to stop carrying it the same way. And if a knot remains, you can leave it. It now stands as a marker, a reminder of what's still unfolding, of what's worthy of patience, of what you're learning to meet with softness, not urgency. This rope can carry a story, can carry process, and when you return to it, you're returning to yourself. Keep it somewhere visible or folded beside your journal. Let it remind you you don't have to do it all at once. Progress happens in presence, not pressure. And this is how we move through life's layers, not by rushing to the root, but by choosing a starting point that meets our capacity, by loosening what's ready and respecting what's not. Some days, the smallest tangle will be your whole practice. Other days, you'll sit beside a deep knot and simply breathe. Both count, both change you. Save this practice for the days when everything feels wound tight, when your thoughts feel layered, when your chest feels full. Start small, work gently, return often. The rope will wait, and the breath will guide you, and the knots will teach you if you let them. Thank you for being here with me as we untangle the mind, one knot at a time.